bizarre, sick pregnancy video. The video to me was sick, the pregnancy video. It made me violently ill watching her dance around with her baby bump in a hospital room.
When Meghan and Harry welcomed their children, with first being Archie, who was born back in 2019, and Lilibet, who was born in 2021. There were whispers about their true identity.
Two-step and a squat, and we've seen the video all over the internet, but this pregnancy video was so gross to me. It was just someone who is socially inept. It was odd. It was just such a depth of desperation.
Did Meghan really carry those kids and birthed them? Or is there more to the story and we're not getting the full picture? The whispers around the time of these pregnancies were about the story behind the headlines. What's even more shocking is that the palace has revealed their stance on the true identity of Prince Archie and Prince Lilibet.
How's that bump treating you?
Very well. It's funny, I've actually been joking in the past few weeks. I'd seen this documentary on Netflix about feminism, and one of the things they said during pregnancy was, I feel the embryonic kicking of feminism. I love that. So boy or girl, whatever it is, we hope that that's the case with our little
The
bump.
next generation of feminism is already on the way there. Guaranteed. You heard it here first.
During her pregnancy, Meghan got the best of it. She was in the tabloids and headlines constantly, with people focusing on what she wore during her pregnancy and even capturing moments where she placed her hand on her bump.
Paid for royal engagements, allegedly. So now Meghan Markle is posting this pregnancy video, and I also am someone who's not conspiratorial at all. A lot of my friends are conspiratorial. I am not. And there have been a bunch of rumors for years about Meghan Markle and maybe she feigned her pregnancy.
What is meant to be a sweet time and the greatest joy between a mother and a father was turned into a photo opportunity and a pedestal for her to use to bolster her image, and the press ate it up. There were constant talks about her outfit and how great she looked whilst pregnant. However, beyond the pictures, beyond what the headlines, online sleuths picked up something the camera showed. Behind the headlines, there were talks of moon bump, prosthetic belly, fake pregnancies, and the use of a surrogate.
Maybe her kids aren't really in line for the throne. Maybe they're not in line for succession because the kids weren't born of her body, right? The folks in the UK, we might have someone on next week to discuss this. They debate this often. I never believed it. I never really followed it. I never said, oh, I don't know. Was she really pregnant? Was she not? The amount of women who have come out and said,
this was what was exploding behind the scenes as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex smiled and posed for the cameras while using their pregnancy as a prop in their chase for media attention. The comments were rolling in, and the online sleuths were picking at moments that made this theory to seem less like a theory and more like a fact.
Work around the delivery room. The last thing that would even come to our minds, and something to me looks sketchy about the baby bump. The baby bump looks weird. It looks like a huge pillow. It looks like a massive throw pillow. So I don't know what she's doing. The whole thing is bizarre. The video is bizarre, and Meghan Markle is...
These moments, when placed together, side by side, painted a picture of a woman who is once again trying to fool the world. Here's the thing about the wannabe lifestyle influencer. She wants the glory without the work. This is evidenced by her cooking show on Netflix starring her, which is a total wreck of a show and a waste of the crew members' precious time.
Try things that we're not so great at, which I should remind myself when I try to draw.
The show tanked, and the reviews revealed that the fakeness, false relatability, and awkward moments with alleged friends and guests sealed the deal for them. Another pointer to her inability to get anything right is her jam. Nobody is buying her jams. The jampreneur also failed to make good enough jams. She starts with an idea, and rather than taking the time to iron out the details, put in the work, and listen to expert advice, she jumps in and slaps her title on it. While she might be delusional, the world is waking up and seeing her runny jam for what it is: a sham.
Meghan has surprised everyone by sharing her most bizarre video yet. The Duchess of Sussex posted a short clip of her and Prince Harry twerking in an attempt to induce labour before the birth of her daughter, Princess Lilibet. But in it, Meghan is squatting on the floor, dancing around the hospital room. It's quite shocking for a member of the royal family to do this. Now, this comes just 5 years after she and Harry left the UK for the US, a pursuit of privacy. She and Harry wanted to to get their kids away from the fishbowl of royal life. They've been doing everything they can to protect their children's faces from the media, yet over the past few months since Meghan launched her Instagram account, she's been increasingly posting photos of her kids, surprising many with this really new take on her public life. We love it though, we can't get enough, and I think Meghan, keep it coming.
There are many times she has done this, so would it be surprising that she might have presented herself as pregnant to the world for the purpose of placing the spotlight on herself once more? The With Love Meghan star loves the spotlight, yet she chastises the media for not respecting her privacy.
To Harry especially, because I know how much loss he's suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it. And I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
The way that I saw it was, there is a way of doing things, but for us.
The Duchess of Sussex claimed that she wanted to live a quiet life in America, as she didn't have that in the UK. Yet she begs her way into a controversial brand fashion show and tried to lie about it. Her pursuit for attention is relentless, and her inability to put in the good work is very obvious.
Archie bundled up and fast asleep. Until now, there was a lot we didn't know about just how the seventh in line to the British throne came into this world. In his newly obtained birth certificate, it shows Archie.
So would it be far-fetched that she might have had a surrogate carry her children for her? What does a pregnancy mean in a royal household? It means stability, a future secured, and a possibility of being next in line. Meghan would definitely not want to pass that up. She would do what's necessary to solidify her name as one of the elites.
Windsor arrived May 6th, not at their new home Frogmore Cottage like many had expected, but rather at a London hospital.
Even though Meghan had let it be known she wanted a home birth, it was probably very realistic that her first child at 37, it was going to be born in hospital.
The certificate lists the private luxury Portland Hospital in West.
Whilst Meghan and Harry were still working royals, they had their first child, Archie. During this pregnancy, since it's royalty, there are steps that must be taken and protocols that must be followed. However, these were broken and not followed by Meghan and her husband.
Posed with her 3 newborns.
Meghan didn't want to do what Kate had done. She didn't want to come out, within hours of giving birth or the day after, with full hair and makeup. So they chose another hospital.
The certificate shows the mother as Rachel Meghan, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, and shows her job as Princess.
At first, many praised her for being modern and breathing fresh air into the monarchy, as they were the pioneers for breaking traditions and keeping up with the new age. But what was once praised is now being viewed differently by onlookers. What if the reason why protocols were broken wasn't because of modernity, but because something was actually hidden? A behind-the-scenes moment that would shatter the Sussexes and the royal family alike.
The same as what Kate listed for her occupation. Baby Archie has already met his grandmother, the Queen. And according to the Daily Mail, the little one met William and Kate for the first time on Tuesday. And this weekend, a special time for the new parents. The 1-year anniversary of their wedding.
There was no easel outside Buckingham Palace announcing the birth, no pictures in the steps taken, and an adjustment on Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor birth certificate done months later to Meghan's name and title. The world found out in typical Sussex fashion through an Instagram post. How modern and forward-thinking, right? All these together was enough to raise eyebrows and fuel the whispers as they circulated. But the whispers began even more erratic after the birth of their second child, Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor, named in honor of her grandmother and great-grandmother.
Salah satu atau kedua anak mereka. Nah, rumor ini
This pregnancy came after Megxit. They were no longer working royals. Meghan and Harry announced their exit from the royal family via Instagram, very typical behavior, to the world. It came as a shock to the world and allegedly caught the royal family off guard.
Their daughter.
The news came with all the usual fanfare of a royal baby, but this time made on Harry and Meghan's terms. Almost 48 hours after their little girl was born, they told the world.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex welcomed their second child, a girl, into the world in 2021, just a year after they stepped back and became non-working royals. This time there was no need to follow protocol. No need for all the ceremonies that came with a royal birth.
Fourth, we were blessed with the arrival of our daughter, Lily. She is more than we could have ever imagined, and we remain grateful for the love and prayers we've felt from across the globe. Thank you for your continued kindness.
They were simply private citizens giving birth in California. Despite them leaving the royal family due to accusations of bullying and racism, the Sussexes still pushed for their children's title to be retained, which contradicts everything Meghan fought against. The Suits star wants to eat her cake and have it too, and this is where the palace quietly stepped in.
Do you suspect that this relationship, their royal romance, might suffer?
Oh, 100.
Not with interviews, not with flashy statements, but with paperwork, royal records, cold, boring, unglamorous paperwork that does not care about feelings, victim narratives, or Netflix deals.
Wait for 2 days before making the announcement, something that would have been very difficult for them to achieve if they were still working royals.
We knew they were due to have a little girl after they again broke with royal tradition and announced it during their interview with Oprah. But for a couple who've moved away from royal life, they could not have chosen a more regal first name. Calling their daughter Lilibet or Lily, the Queen's...
Behind palace walls, an internal review was triggered. Not because of online gossip, not because of comments, but because the monarchy runs on lineage, accuracy, and constitutional order. Names, dates, medical confirmations, and legal documentation matter when you are talking about the line of succession. This is not Hollywood, this is the crown.
Families. In the midst of this festive period, I just wanted to ask you to join me today in finding a special place in your hearts and your minds and prayers for the hundreds of thousands of people.
The review focused on verifying the children's records, preserving accuracy, and confirming exactly how and where they legally fit into the royal lineage. Were the records complete? Were protocols followed? Were there discrepancies that required clarification? This is standard procedure when reforms are underway, but the timing alone sent shockwaves through royal watchers.
I know from my own experience that a cancer diagnosis can feel overwhelming. Yet, I also know that early detection is the key that can transform treatment journeys, giving invaluable time to medical teams and to their patients.
King Charles is in full cleanup mode. Between managing his health, restoring public confidence, and smoothing out years of controversy, he has made it clear that the days of mess and mixed messaging are over. The monarchy is being tightened, streamlined, and protected, starting with those who brought embarrassment to the institution.
Royal titles. In a statement, Buckingham Palace announced King Charles initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles, and honors of his younger brother, who will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. The palace acknowledging the pain of the victims.
Look at Prince Andrew. Once the Queen's favorite, once flying high with titles and privileges, Andrew was quietly but firmly stripped of his military roles and royal patronages after his connection to the Epstein scandal became impossible to ignore. No courtroom drama, no emotional interviews, just removal. The message was simple. If you bring risk to the crown, you lose access to it.
Tonight, a statement from the family of Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide in April and alleged Andrew had sex with her as a teenager. Today, an ordinary American girl from an ordinary American family brought down a British prince. As part of the negotiations with the palace, Andrew will leave his home at Royal Lodge and move to the world.
Andrew remains a prince by birth, but he is no longer a working royal. No duties, no uniforms, no public representation. A living example that blood alone does not guarantee relevance in today's monarchy. That same principle is now being applied across the royal family.
Is King Charles pulling rank over Prince Harry? Because it seems like he may have just snubbed his youngest son. The king reportedly threw a mandatory party for royal family members during the Duke of Sussex Invictus Game service in London. Tom Sykes of the Daily Beast claimed
Working royals versus non-working royals. Service tied directly to privilege. Titles attached to responsibility. Entitlement without service is officially a thing of the past. So when palace sources confirmed that royal family records were being reviewed internally, not leaked, not debated publicly, but checked line by line, Harry and Meghan reportedly were not calm. Meghan in particular was said to be in panic mode. Because paperwork does not bend to PR narratives, records do not respond to interviews, and lineage does not care about branding.
Soloed to his event at St. Paul's Cathedral and had no royals show up for him. A former advisor told the royal correspondent, quote, Charles has made it quite clear he is ready to be friendly and supportive to Harry in his capacity as a private person, as his dad, but he is not going to throw the weight of the institution behind Invictus again. Another person who was...
This is the part that hits hardest. Titles do not automatically mean succession. Courtesy titles are not constitutional ones. Archie and Lilibet may hold titles by style, but the line of succession is governed by law, verified documentation, and adherence to royal protocol. If anything is unclear, it gets clarified. If anything is incomplete, it gets corrected.
Harry, because it seems like he may have just snubbed his youngest son. The king reportedly threw a mandatory party for royal family members during the Duke of Sussex Invictus Game service in London. Tom Sykes of the Daily Beast claims, quote, King Charles ordered all working royals, including Princess Anne and Prince Edward.
And suddenly, the Sussex strategy starts to wobble. For years, Harry and Meghan framed themselves as victims of a cruel institution. But what happens when the palace is not attacking, not reacting, just organizing, cleaning up records, restoring order, preparing the monarchy for the future? Quiet moves are always the most powerful.
No royals show up for him. A former advisor told the royal correspondent, quote, Charles has made it quite clear he is ready to be friendly and supportive to Harry in his capacity as a private person, as his dad, but he is not going to throw the weight of the institution behind Invictus.
There were no dramatic announcements, no public rebuttals, no emotional statements, just an internal process that determines who represents the crown and who does not, who serves the institution and who operates independently. The monarchy is being reformed for survival. Smaller, clearer, more disciplined. Working royals carry duties and responsibilities together. Non-working royals live private lives without constitutional weight. And that is where the tension lies. You cannot reject royal duty and still demand royal relevance. You cannot monetize royal identity while refusing royal accountability. And you cannot expect the crown to bend constitutional rules for personal comfort. This is not about punishing children. It is about preserving the institution. Clear records, clear order, clear lines of succession.
With his baby, that's all we ever wanted for him.
I think everybody just needs to enjoy this moment because they don't come along that often and it's the most joyous thing. I think it's just not let it be tarnished.
Won't this all be forgotten? Anyone who is just a little bit miffed on this,
And for the first time, the palace is not chasing the Sussexes. It is moving forward without them. That silence, that structure, that tightening of the ship. For centuries, the monarchy has relied on order and clarity to thrive. However, in recent times, certain scandals and controversies have smeared its good name. Both King Charles and Prince William are over it. No more privileges without service. How can you banish yourself from the palace but still want to benefit from it? Harry and Meghan have far deluded themselves into thinking the world would forever be on their side. They've wielded this as a weapon to fight against the crown and still benefit from it. But now the world has turned against them and the palace's silent moves are beginning to take shape and speak volumes. Meghan Markle has been positioning herself to become an elite, a person of symbol, who speaks and is listened to. She uses anything and anybody, including her kids, to solidify her position. Now that very thing that makes heads turn towards her is being threatened.
Meghan, darling, Meghan. Miss Markle, hang on, Meghan. Meghan, turn your head, please. Oh, yeah, Meghan, darling. One more stop right here. Meghan, one more single.
She's slowly but surely losing her connection to the royal family. Without that title, without the connection, she knows she'd become a has-been and a cautionary tale. This internal review of the royal archive isn't meant to punish, but to bring order back to the crowns, after suffering blows and hits from different members of the family.